The Spanish Grand Prix at Angel Nieto Jerez circuit is underway, and it's a brilliant start from Fabio Quartararo. Jack Miller also has got through on the Aprilia, but Bagnaia's going to lead. So it's Bagnaia from Quartararo, from Miller then in third place. Then in fourth, Taka Nakagami, who's been fourth here for the last two races.
Yeah, it's a track that it works well for Nakagami. Fastest in the morning warm-up, and he knows he needs a result. That seat, there's a lot of riders on that seat. There was contact back there. I think that was a wing.
It was.
We saw flying. I don't know whose back that came off.
Flying through the air, wasn't it? But thankfully, it looked like they're all okay. Someone's going to be a little bit unbalanced out there. No Raul Fernandez in this race, out with a hand injury, but we got 25 riders with Bradley and Savadori out as wildcards. Out wide there was Paul Espargaro.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going. He was out in the dirty part of the track. Not nice out there.
Marc Marquez has made a good start also, Neil. He's there in fifth. Aleix is the one who's come off worst from the start. He's dropped back into sixth spot. Bezzecchi has been brilliant this weekend. Just lost seventh spot to Joan Mir, who started ninth.
Yeah, Bezzecchi, honestly, I was out on the track yesterday, and Bezzecchi looks amazing on that Ducati. Real fast, consistent on all the parts of the track I was watching.
So, Bagnaia leads, exactly what he and Ducati would have wanted. If Quartararo had been at the front, you'd fear that he might escape. He still might do so, but he's going to have to find a way through on Bagnaia, and that's not easy. Marc Marquez, in turn, will have to try and get through on his Honda stablemate. Taka Nakagami through the fast corners of Alex Crivier, through Ferrari now, and then into Lorenzo Corner. Here comes the attack already from Marc Marquez. Runs it very close to the inside of Nakagami and opens the door for Aleix Espargaro, and Nakagami was down in a horrible part of the corner. Also, that was, I think it was Jorge Martin who's crashed out of this race. It is Martin and Stefan Bradl who've gone down. Oh, it's actually...
two separate crashes.
Yeah.
Because, he just washed the front out, and it looked like Bradl on the way in, trail braking in. Seen quite a few crashes into that corner this weekend into turn 13.
Bagnaia has just set a new fastest lap of the race. Quartararo was only a 10th slower on that lap, so it's nothing major at this moment. But this front two already a 10th quicker than Miller, and another couple of 10ths quicker than Marquez on that lap. 37.9.
Yeah, first rider in the 37s. We expect that to be the race pace in the high 37s. High to mid 37s is what we can see. That said, the tarmac, the track temperature is as hot as it's been all weekend. It got up a little bit yesterday afternoon, but it's slightly hotter now, so that usually affects the lap times around this track. It's a slippy, greasy track here at Jerez.
Here we go again for Quartararo. Any chance down at turn 6? Not on your Nelly. Mir went a little bit deep in there, and Darren Binder has crashed out at turn 2. Such a common crash. Over the years, that has taken more victims, I think, than any other corner around.
Do you know, it's one of those corners you always feel slower at. Tell you what, he was well up there.
He was in 17th, just behind Frankie Morbidelli. Zarco has crashed out, and when you see an air fence like that, you know that it's in somewhere fast. It is.
Turn 5, it's a late apex. Oh, what a strange crash.
Goes early.
Wonder if it's still that damp patch.
The gap at the front, 0.8 of a second. We'll see it through the first split any moment now. They come to it, 0.8 it stays at between Bagnaia and Quartararo. Is Quartararo just managing things? Here comes Marquez, trying to line up a run on Miller. He's got a little bit of a squeeze earlier on the throttle on this occasion, right tucked in behind the Ducati man. Miller pulls to the inside of the track to block Marquez's way. Marquez, what he's trying to do here is pressure Jack into a mistake.
Yeah,
like he's done so many times over the years.
Yeah, and what Jack's doing really well is he's just ignoring that. He's well aware that mark's there, but he's just working to his brake markers. The critical points on this track, turn 6, turn 13, the last corner, turn 1, the overtaking opportunities. As long as you don't panic, as long as you just brake on your brake marker, you know, if someone dives up the inside, they're probably going to go wide and you'll square them off. That's why I said, to make a pass around this track, you have to be really, really patient in the race.
At the front, the gap still back. It's actually come back down to 0.6 of a second, and it's Quartararo who's just done a 38.0, Bagnaia a 38.2. That shows to me that Quartararo has still got the pace he needs. He's still got that metronomic run. that could see him close the gap on Bagnaia and maybe have something in the end of this race.
And the beauty of that is what Quartararo is doing. Bagnaia is going to come round, and as soon as he gets across the line, he'll see that on his pit board, because there's nothing better. What a great feeling as you're seeing the gap grow as you're going round. You're pulling away ever so slightly, even if it's only a tenth of a second. Let's not forget, Francesco Bagnaia is carrying that shoulder injury from the qualifying crash in Portugal last week. He was impressive last week in the race, but he still said, look, the shoulder's an issue. It's something I've got to manage. You only did a few laps this morning in the morning warm-up, trying to rest that shoulder as much as you can. This track, there are no long straights. There is no rest at all for the riders. So with 11 laps to go, Quartararo's closing this gap.
Marquez is not going to leave it like this. There will be a lunge somewhere.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen. Here we go on the inside at Tito Pont's corner.
Well,
but Miller's going to try and round around there. So what a stunning move through that fast turn 5. The problem is Jack Miller's on a Ducati and has the pace. Aleix Espargaro wants a piece of this. Marquez trying everything he can to get it stopped, and he does in Pedrosa corner. Marquez into the podium positions.
Oh, he got it in turn 5. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a double apex corner. You do go out a little bit in the middle, and that Ducati turns well, but Marquez squeezed it through there. It's going to be so interesting to see what pace he's got now. Can he break these two riders?
I mean, that is a great move, and he just found had a look at so many different corners that he's thought it's got to be at somewhere weird.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. It's somewhere weird. This is somewhere weird. You don't see a lot of people make a pass there in the middle of that corner.
And Aleix Espargaro sees a weakness in Marc Marquez. He's going to sit Jack up.
Oh, Marquez lost the front there.
Marc's gone wide too, and Aleix Espargaro suddenly in the podium positions. We've got a battle on for third, and Miller's going to come back, and Marquez into turn 1. Here comes the Australian now, and Marquez a moment ago was in 4th, then he was in 3rd, and now he's back in 5th, and Joan Mir's joining the party. Oh, we've got an Aprilia, Ducati, Honda and Suzuki all doing battle for the bronze medal today.
None of them have got grip. The bikes are spinning and sliding. It's a horrible feeling at this point in the race. The front's pushing. We saw Marquez lose the front on the last corner. But the smart man, I think, has been Aleix Espargaro. He's the man who's sat there. He's the man who's got the pace. Marquez thought about it then up the inside of 5.
Yeah, but Jack this time is wise to that move. And look at Aleix, as soon as he's got in front, has now opened up the Aprilia and pulling away from Miller.
Watch Marquez here. Watch Marquez. It's wide, really wide.
Oh, he saved it.
It's the first one we've seen. I think that's the first one we've seen since he...
I think you're right.
Literally since he crashed here in 2020. It's the first time he's caught it on his elbow.
When they cross the line now, the Spanish Grand Prix has suddenly come back to life here. It's like one of those fireworks that had a really long taper, and suddenly it's starting to go off. So Bagnaia, half a second's advantage over Quartararo. This is psychological as well in this situation between the Italian and the French rider. Aleix Espargaro, we talked about it. Oh, the front again in turn 1 from Aleix.
No grip left.
Wow.
All these tyres are... Can you imagine the tyre temperature now? And it just feels horrible. The bike doesn't want to turn, it's greasy. You're trail braking into these corners and you can just feel the front pushing and sliding.
Here is Marquez. I thought he was done. No, he's still going to try and fight back on the inside. Coming out of turn 6 on this occasion. There will be another go from Marc Marquez. Marc, my words, it's going to happen.
Into turn 8, he's good in the left-handers. Yeah, of course he's gone for it. Whoa! And it's surprised Jack. Jack had to stand up. Marquez has gone wide. Look out there on the dirty part of the track.
I think it's got to be the last corner for Jack Miller if he wants to go, because Marc's been struggling in there during this race. At the front, is there a chance for Fabio Quartararo to prevent Pecco from winning his 5th Grand Prix victory in MotoGP? I don't think so. Here is Bagnaia. He stands the bike up, and he's going to stand on the podium for the first time this year, and he's going to do it in front of the Spanish crowd. Pecco Bagnaia wins the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez ahead of Fabio Quartararo. Aleix Espargaro takes the 3rd podium of his season in 3rd, and Marc Marquez is going to hold on to a brilliant 4th place. Jack Miller frustrated, I'm sure, with 5th in the end. Mir is 6th. A great ride from Taka Nakagami into 7th place. 8th for Bastianini, Bezzecchi 9th. Brad Binder makes up the top 10. Wow, there was an end to that race we didn't see coming. The battle for 3rd, and at the end, Fabio Quartararo pushing Pecco to the limit. but Bagnaia's delivered finally this year.
And the reactions from the Ducati garage, the men from Bologna,